When people in Singapore think about what to do on the weekend, their minds immediately jump to the newest cafe at Haji Lane or the next pop-up market. But what if I told you, hidden in dimly lit rehearsal studios, there's a side to Singapore that you've probably never heard or seen before? Join me as we dive into the underground world of flashing lights, cranked up amps, and raw loud music. Welcome to Singapore's underground gig scene. Today we're at 1980 Studios, where we'll be covering one of their events, Turn It Up. Let's go!
Hi, I'm Trevor, owner of Rabak Records. So when I was in Ngee Ann, I was the president of Sound Composing Club, MP Amplify. So we started Rabak Records after meeting a bunch of people at a punk social event run by this guy called Shaiful Risan. We had this meeting and a bunch of musicians, organizers talking about the state of the scene, what's going on. So I thought, okay, this is a good place for me to start something.
My name is Jonathan Kang, I'm 45. There are three of us running this place. Three of us were all born a few months apart from each other in 1980, which is why I guess it was quite intuitive. One of the conversations that came up in supper after band practice was, wouldn't it be nice if we had our own rehearsal studio? George, who is one of the partners, and myself, we had a lot of gear that was just sitting around at home. So we decided, well, set up a studio, and at the same time we can put all our gear in there and use it lah. The only way to get good at playing live is to play live lah. Alright, there's no textbook or YouTube that you can read to get you there. So we decided, look, there aren't enough places for Singapore's original bands to perform, which is one of the reasons why we decided to focus a lot on original music and provide gig organizers, bands, a space to play for their friends and their supporters.
Hi, I'm Lucas. I play the bass and I sing for Musak.
Hi, I'm Lance and I play guitar in Musak.
Hi, I'm Aisyah and I play the keyboard and trombone for Musak.
We started out as a grunge band with a few other people, but that was not what I wanted and not what Lance wanted to do. So we formed another group and we got our drummer Mark, who is unfortunately not here today. He really brought a new sound to the band, and we thought, hey, I think we can do prog rock. Before I left Japan, we were playing some pretty heavy stuff. We were under another name called Blast, and when I met Japanese musicians and spoke to them and told them about my band, they think that we are some Nana reference like the anime. I thought, hey, we're heavy. Music's a very chill genre. What if it was the complete opposite?
I think the Singapore underground music scene is thriving amazingly, both in the independent and sort of institutionalized. When I say institutionalized, what I mean by is that they receive support from notably Skate. The DIY scene is flourishing. We have venues like 1980 Studios, Room 526. There are lots of underground bands and there are lots of shows happening every single week. Number one is risk, because I'm not a registered company. This gives me a lot of agility to do things. I'm the only person running Rabak Records. I'm also planning the marketing, planning the releases. It's very, very hard to scale without also scaling the acts that you bring in. So the point of Rabak Records is actually to stay small and stay independent.
I think George, Geraldine and I, in the last 4 years, we haven't drawn a single dollar's worth of salary from this place. It's always been a passion project for us. For us, the challenge is twofold. On one hand, it's making sure that we have a financial responsibility. On the other hand, it's staying quite pure to where our heart is, which is original music.
The main challenge is getting the crowd to get used to our sound, because with a lot of bands in Singapore, they already have an established sound. With Musak, it's we are bringing back what was in the past, with Emerson, Lake and Palmer and all that from the 70s. But how can we make it approachable and enjoyable for an indie crowd?
Another thing that really helped was we managed to catch the attention of a lot of organizers that really helped us getting gigs.
We were at Caesarea just now and the waiter recognized us. That was crazy. No matter how bad things could have gone, we still have this community that supports us and that really keeps us going.
The love we got, we could have never imagined it. It was really surreal, so I'm grateful to play every show we get, I guess.
Actually, running an event is incredibly expensive sometimes. It's sort of like a triangle lah. I need to pay myself enough, need to pay the bands enough, and it needs to be affordable for the audience. But I think a lot of things that are not considered is valuing your art. They're still in school or they first started working, living with their parents, they don't have a lot of overheads. Music is essentially a hobby for them. The only people that make their living from underground scenes are the venues. They keep the space running, so I feel like they deserve to do that. 1980 Studios, they've been incredibly helpful. We have an incredible relationship. They help me keep things running. I bring events to their space, I let people know about their space, and it's a mutually beneficial relationship. It's from your backyard and you should be proud of it. Underground music has always been very important as a sort of a counterculture, a push against the mainstream. Kids need a way to express themselves if they don't align with the mainstream. It is where it is right now because it's been pushed aside to somewhere where you can't see it and you can't disturb people.
Just go support bands, discover new sounds, discover new genres. Talk to the guys that perform, the guys and girls, because they are eager to talk to their fans too.
There's a bunch of free shows going on all the time. If you're scared that like, oh, I'm gonna be alone, like, I wouldn't have met people like Lucas and Aisyah if it weren't for music.
I think what we need to do as people in the scene is to do our best to, one, of course, make good music. Despite all the venues closing down, the people are still here. We're still here. We still want to listen to music. We still want to make music.
As long as we keep having support, music never dies.
In my teens, there was such a thing as a Singapore sound. I remember 98.7, they dedicated an hour every 2 days or something like that to only playing local original bands. I think that scene was very healthy, and then we went through kind of like a hard reset. For some reason, local bands just kind of went indie, underground, instead of being a bit more mainstream. But then out of that came another rebirth, right, which is where this current generation comes in. It's certainly not as mainstream as it was in the 90s and 2000s, but it's a lot more intentional. There are supporters and fans of other bands who know the lyrics to songs that are played by other bands. Every era has its opportunities, and they are very much reliant on the kind of people that make up the scene, right? The organizers, the venues, the bands, and the fans.
As a whole, the underground scene is very progressive, very alternative. Definitely the most evident was after COVID. Suddenly everyone is coming out to go to shows because they've seen like alternative music on TikTok. Wow, I love Deftones, I'm gonna go to a rock show, that sort of thing. You cannot grow and remain underground because at some point when you scale, you have to plug into a framework. I would love for the scene to grow, but the more it grows, the more attention it will bring. What I feel the underground scene does is it expands below the OP markers, below visibility, and generally I find that the scene regulates itself. It polices itself as a community, as people.
I hope it's more varied. There are a lot of younger guys and like younger girls that play this genre or play any other genre that's not mainstream or like well known in the scene that can come about and make their own path. And I hope Musak helped these kids realize that, they can really do whatever they want.
Like maybe I have a controversial opinion, but underground needs to get overground, man. Like we need more support, we need more love, like especially in Singapore. Like if 1% of like, let's say Indonesia supports your underground, that's like still way more than 1% of the population of Singapore.
The underground scene in Singapore is underground for a lot of reasons. Showing and proving to these people that don't support what we do, showing them that we are here, we exist, and you cannot ignore us. That's what the future needs from the underground.
Good music exists outside the radio and the top 100 charts.
In the end, I hope you guys see, it's not about the genre or how underground the music is. These spaces are for forming connections, be it between the band and the audience, or just people in the crowd looking for a place to exist loudly with each other. You don't need a massive stage with thousands of fans. All you need is just a simple room with people who get it and music that means something to them. I'm Aisyah, and this has been an inside look into Singapore's underground gig scene. Thanks for watching, and who knows, maybe next time you'll find yourself here too.